We live. Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, 42, meaning of life and the galaxy itself. Wow. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm at sixes and sevens. Hello, viewer. Today it is Sunday, January 7th, 2024. I am Mr. Brune with the plastic hair, and I trust you are all doing very well today. On this evening's live stream, we are discussing the goings on last year in the entertainment and on the social media. It was a year where some things happened in Hollywood, and even more bad stuff happened in real life. So, I would just say Happy New Year, everybody. If I've not seen you since New Year, it's just a blur. So, if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through. Shall we get those guests out? You know it. Let's do it. Here we go. First, from a VPN far away, it's the golden reach-around droid of choice. It is Zee-ThreePIO.
Good evening, Mr. Brown, and hello to the chat.
Happy New Year, my friend.
Thank you very much.
I just talked all over you. I do apologise.
You did. Stop doing that, or I'm going to start pulling you up on it.
Hello, my friend. How are you doing? Everything good, yes?
Very well, yes. Just easing in the new year with a few liaisons with Uncle Owen, but we're all good so far.
What?
He's not damaged me internally.
Not yet, but we're only 7 days in.
We are. And so much to review. It's looking like it's going to be a brilliant 2024.
I hope so. I hope so.
We've got things like The Acolyte to look forward to, Skeleton Crew. Isn't it going to be amazing having to watch those every week?
Star Wars. Was it War of Stars? I forget.
War of Star, according to the Lord.
The mighty Lord. And when the Lord speaks, that's it. We listen. So, great to have you, my friend. Shall we get the next bod out?
Oh, let's do that.
Okay. All the way from the land of Texas Shire, she is the queen of this channel. It is Reni L. Hello, Reni.
Hello. Good evening. How are you, gentlemen, today?
Not too bad. How are you?
Doing pretty well. Just for anyone out there that doesn't know, I'm out at my parental's house, so hopefully the Wi-Fi doesn't go out. But I had to come and pick up my Glock, so just a good excuse to come out here. I missed my beautiful Glock, so I needed to get it. It's just hard to coordinate with hubby's schedule.
We don't have guns in the UK, or certainly not legal ones that we can get.
Well, we do. You can apply for a gun license here.
It's tricky to get one, though.
It is. You have to have a genuine use for it, like being a farmer. But other than that...
Well, have you seen Hot Fuzz with the farmers with the rifles?
Definitely.
No?
Yes. Yes.
That was pretty great.
So you're good, Reni, yes?
Yeah, doing pretty good.
Shall we get the next person out?
Do it.
Okay. Next, she is the chat's favorite. It is Vex Electronica. Hello.
Happy New Year, everyone.
How are you?
Hello. I'm doing all right. Well, I could complain, but I don't want to complain. How about you guys?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Just curious, the dinosaur avatar. Why did I just notice that now instead of earlier? What is that all about?
It's I'm working on merch. So Tyrannosaurus Vex is something that I'm getting going. Yeah, I got a couple of these. Hold on. Let me.
Nothing filthy, I hope.
Oh,
no. Trying to keep it clean this year.
There's another
look at that.
one.
Look at that.
And then hold on. And then I have this one's got a little bit of titty, so I don't But I quite like this pixelated one.
Yeah, I like the original one. That one's pretty cool. But I was just curious. I'm like, wait, is there some sort of Jurassic Park tie-in? I was just curious.
You're good.
Wow.
Hmm.
Wow. So you're good, Vex, yes?
Yes,
How's
I'm
the channel
very good.
going?
Channels, got WB gave me a lovely copyright claim for Christmas, and
Bastards.
YouTube gave me a channel strike as well the same day.
Pathetic, isn't
So
it? Just
Oh, that
pathetic.
sucks.
Pathetic.
yeah, it is what it is. It's okay. But other than that, channel's doing all right. Channel's doing all right.
We've got a quick super chat for you, Vex. Here we go from the God King. Hello, my friend. Hi, T-Vex, for $2.
Thank you, Gord.
T-Vex, yes, very good. Yes, saw what you did there. Okay. See, good, Vex, yes.
Yes, very good.
Great to have you on. Shall we get the next peep
Let's do it.
out? Okay. Oh, now, which one should I do? Okay. Do you know what? In honor, he is the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. He's the great Mega Geek himself. It is Ian David Diaz. Hello.
Sorry, hello. Sorry,
Were you
Oh,
mid
had
bite?
that thing off. Huh?
Were you
I
mid
can't.
bite?
No, I was just, we do have clocks in England.
Sorry?
We do have clocks in England. Because
Glocks.
Reni said that she went to get her clock, and I was like,
No, I
well,
said Glock. You
I know what
funny.
you
You
said.
funny, dude.
You funny, Ian. You funny, Ian. See, they're all coming in. Look.
Here we go. Those
Oh,
clocks are shit.
sorry
Mine's
if I've
purdy.
if I've
30.
missed your shit out. I'm sorry, folks. Chat's just going mental.
There you go.
Okay. So you're good. Ian,
Yeah, I'm all
yes?
right. Happy New Year to everybody. That's
Happy New Year.
Yeah, I hope this year will bring you everything you've ever wanted.
I
Smilex
want a
in the
lot.
chat. I've got a massive clock.
Ooh, does it look like Flava Flav's? Do you wear it around your neck? No? Okay, moving on.
Moving on. So you're good, Ian, yes?
Yeah,
Shall
yeah,
we
I'm good.
get the next... Oh,
Why
this
not?
Is, oh, this is big,
Let's
everybody.
get this man out.
Oh, okay. And last, but by no means least, he's been away, folks.
Yeah, now listen.
Far too long.
Spoilers.
Just
Yeah, I know.
he's been away for. I'm getting emotional. Just far too
Oh.
long.
Grab the tissues and bring him out.
Yeah.
Folks. Oh, I'm gonna milk this.
I'm beginning to wonder why he's got those tissues now.
I know. I'm like, maybe different
Apparently,
usage than I was thinking.
Yeah, exactly.
I took great pride in saying the backbone of Sunday night, but I'm not so sure now because he's been away for so long. Absence even makes the heart grow fonder. Shall we get him out?
Mm-hmm.
Do it.
This is big, everybody. I'm welling up with emotion. MatKat83.
What's up, nerds? I'm not that special. I'm not that
Bless.
Yes,
special.
you are. You're
Listen.
adorable.
But I'm super happy to be back. I'm glad to see you guys, and I can't wait to see what we're going to talk about. It's going to be super fun.
This is for the Brits. Punchable face. Is it Hugh Edwards?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no. It's great to have you back, Catty. How's the channel going?
I think it's going good. I also have to deal with YouTube, but I didn't get a strike like Vex anytime soon. But they
really
keep
mean.
Yeah, they keep copyrighting me on music and stuff, but it's like
Really?
it's on stuff that somebody else put a song in there, and then I have to go and put music over the top of it to drown out the song that's playing, because I'm all like, well, I don't want to redo the whole thing just because this clip is in here with a dumb song in the background. But it is what it is, and you know how it goes.
Just do live streams, folks. It's just easier.
Right on.
So it's great to have you back, my friend.
It's good to be back.
Okay. I think that's it for the guests for the time being. There will be others. TBA, everybody. We'll get back to normal service next week. TBA number 29. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please. Please, pretty please. No begging caption this week, but because it's a end of year review, let's just take a moment, folks. In memory of Tim, I like saying this, Hannibal, who was one of our own.
He was.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sad.
Great man to chat with. Super sweet.
So funny.
Okay. Let's do it then, folks. Okay, so I'll make the caption bigger. 2023, the what does that say, Reni?
Bag of Dicks top 10. So you guys know where this list mainly came from.
Somebody. Okay.
Everybody on this list can eat a bag of dicks. So
we'll just see how we go. We'll count down. The. Be warned. Mostly entertainment. Mostly. Yes.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Wasn't it half and half originally?
But a couple of.
Oh
real
no,
life,
you didn't.
A couple of real life. We all know the very, very bad stuff that happens, so we don't need to mention that. But we all know. So
Yeah.
okay. So 2023. In fact, first, Z, was your views of 2023 good or bad?
I'm glad it's over, sir.
Reni?
It was certainly a year.
It was a year.
Yeah.
And not one of my favourites either.
No.
I'm with Z on this one. 2023, not the best, not the worst, but just not the best year. Oh, thank you, Mom. So, definitely lots of bag of dicks to hang out or to hand out, but
Yes.
you can't give them to everybody, damn it. So, you had to chisel it down. So,
Vex, good or bad thoughts?
I don't know what you guys are talking about. We had a phenomenal year. We got Indiana Jones 5 and The Flash and Ahsoka. It was it was a, you know what? Going through my top 10 list, it was more bad than good, but there were some pretty good gems that came out this year, I would say still. So
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Mega Geek.
When it comes to entertainment, I guess it was pretty rubbish, wasn't it? Let's face it. I mean, but there were some gems in there. Like There's No Escape. You ever see that one? No. It was on Hulu. It was
No One Will Save You.
That's it. No One Will Save You. That was great.
That was very good. Yeah.
really, I found that to be so cheesy, but to each their own.
It was good cheese, though.
Good
Really?
cheese,
I
man.
didn't
Can't
really
beat good
like it.
cheese.
The aliens were sucktacular in that one, in
I
my
know,
opinion.
I
And I
know
know
they
Lee's
were.
gonna hate me for it, but they
I
sucked.
know they were, but it was. I still thought it was entertaining. Wonka. I liked Wonka. I guess.
Wanker, yeah.
Wonka, yeah. But the rest of it was all bollocks. So there you go. All shit, mate. All shit. There you go.
Shit.
It was shit.
Catty.
Well, the year overall sucked, in my opinion, but there were.
It's great to have you back.
But I mean, there were some stuff in there. I mean, personally, I had some good things going on in my life. I got to spend. I've realized that I like spending a lot of time with my family. So I realized that. And I'm trying. Yeah, I've tried.
When did you learn that then?
I mean, I guess.
Good for you.
And so I've just tried to make that a priority. But entertainment wise hasn't been the best. Although I did like The Flash. So but yeah,
Aquaman.
And I loved Aquaman.
Oh my gosh, I liked it too, and I liked The Flash as well.
So I hope, but I hope 2024 is way better than 2023 because 2023 just sucked balls. But yeah.
Okay, let's do it then. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Apparently, they add up to 666. Year of the KK. Yeah. Okay, so here we go then, folks. Nothing scientific. It's what people have suggested, and I've tried to put them in some order. So don't get angry if I'm wrong, because I'm always wrong.
I was gonna say you're always wrong. It's all good.
Even
Go
when
ahead.
I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Okay, so somebody
You
told me
wouldn't
I'm a
like him
wrong
when
one,
he's
but
angry.
anyway. Okay, number 10, folks. Number 10.
What is
Da,
number 10?
da, da.
Come on, cough it up.
Lizzo.
Boo.
Oh, Banana Lady.
Who would like to go first?
Good luck.
Catty, from the bottom, Lizzo.
I mean, as a person, I don't enjoy her. I think she's quite obnoxious and annoying. As an actress, she's pure shit. She can't act to save her life. And in Star Wars, it was just god awful. I have no reason. I don't know why they put her in Star Wars. It was just a bad idea, 100%. So yeah, Lizzo can fuck off.
Fair enough. Ian?
What can I say? I don't know who she is. Well, I do know who she is. She's the one that climbed on the plane and showed her ass, right? I just
Yes.
think that the world's gone crazy, and if Hollywood has embraced her, I think all of the people in Hollywood are crazy as well. It's not called Hollywood anymore. It's called Hollywoke, and so they can keep everything now. Good luck to them. Yes, she's shit. There you go.
Ooh. Vex?
I mean, I saw the clips of the Star Wars thing, but I think the better thing was how it came out that she was fat shaming dancers in the lawsuit. So
Oh,
I think that makes her the worst of 2023 just for that, and making them eat bananas out of stripper vag and all that
not
stuff.
good.
So,
Not good.
yeah, this woman's overrated. She's annoying. She's a narcissist. I also don't understand why they shoved her into Star Wars at all.
Yeah.
Reni?
Yeah, that's like mainly my suggestion, or why I put her name in the hat, is because of the fact that, she's just a horrible person, and for her to sit there and talk
Seriously.
about body positivity and show off her cottage cheese and et cetera, just to sexually harass people and
Yowza.
be damn near abusive to her employees is disgusting, and she's an awful person, and I cannot believe that we had somebody like this trying to fight for rights of certain genres of people. It just makes me sick.
Do you know who created
Genres
the
of
word
people.
body shaming?
Don't
Do you
hold
know
back,
who created
Reni.
that word? Fat
Yeah.
people. Fat people created the word body shaming because
Well,
they
they use it
can't
for
be
like
asked to get on the treadmill.
they use it for
You know what I
like
mean?
stick skinny
Sorry,
people as
folks.
well. Did you not hear that? Used
Yeah,
for
as I'm
like
saying,
super skinny.
it's ridiculous. There are
So
some people out there that really do have trouble losing weight, and I sympathize with them. But someone like her, no, sorry.
no, she's a
Sorry.
glutton and doesn't give any fucks. So
Yeah.
she can go straight to hell and eat all the dicks.
Buzzwords, everybody. Visceral fat. Google it. Okay. Z?
Well, I'm not going to deny she is a talented musician. But for God's
Yes.
sake, keep her out of television.
She's a musician.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's a singer.
She's
She's
actually
not bad.
quite
She's not bad.
talented, but
Yeah.
I
Don't
prefer
She's
that she
didn't even know.
okay.
keep her out of our IPs. She's not wanted here.
She's got a good voice. Her music, that's a whole other story. But she could, if she weren't such a horrible person, she could be up there with like Aretha Franklin in terms of like good voices and like notable
Wow.
voices. But she just doesn't. She makes just this garbage, ultra feminist music that has no meaning, nothing nice about it, no morale to it. So
Very talented, but let down by her attitude.
Z,
Yeah.
you said something that was wrong. You said
What?
keep her out of our IPs. It's not our IPs anymore. It
No,
never
you're
was.
absolutely right.
So
Never was.
let them have it all now. That's all I
Yeah.
can say.
Put her in everything. Let's have Star Wars Lizzo.
Because you watched with myself Ahsoka, didn't you? Was it Ahsoka? Which one
No,
was she?
so
in?
Mandalorian.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Mandalorian. So I'm getting, they're all just blurring into one.
So,
With,
yeah.
It's all
Pointless
shit.
character.
Jack
Pointless
Black. Yeah.
cameo. Likewise,
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd completely wasted.
Wasted.
Yeah.
So I couldn't care less for the woman.
Great Scott. Yeah.
Great Scott!
Oh, nice.
Catty, anything to add before we move on?
No, I don't really care for Lizzo. That's it.
Okay. Wise words from Catty. Okay, so Lizzo, everybody.
Bye bye.
Number 10. Bye bye,
I
Lizzo.
hope you like sucking those dicks.
9.
999.
9.
9.
You should have that music for the top 10, you know.
You get copyright strike.
Yeah, I know you would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
God,
Same.
man. Pathetic, isn't it? In at number 9, new entry.
Oh no! Wasn't she the one who was going to take over?
Look, old Lizzo.
Only what is it? Murder She Wrote. She was going to play Jessica Fletcher, wasn't she? At one point.
Oh,
You're
was
pulling
she?
my chain.
Not. They were cast. I'm going to cast her as Jessica
What?
Fletcher. At one
That's
point.
crazy.
I know.
This is the Apple zero carbon emissions woke fests of a video they showed at one of the Apple events.
Mm-hmm.
Where this is is this a famous American actress?
Yeah, she is.
Actor?
Octavia Spencer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
Mhm.
Mother Nature apparently.
I did like her before all this crap started.
Yeah, she's a good actress, actually.
She is, yeah.
Did anybody see the ad
Commercial?
or the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
what did we think? It was quite nauseating, wasn't it? How
And
Apple said,
pretentious.
Yeah.
they're gonna somebody they said something about reducing. They're gonna take all carbon
Reducing
out of
the
the atmosphere
Yep,
or
carbon
something.
footprint.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they want
Because
plants not to
Apple
be able to
has
breathe.
Yeah, Apple
you.
just has to show that they're better than everyone else. And, don't get me wrong, I love my Apple products, but they're way far up their own asses about like, you know what, we're doing this, this, and this, and this is why we're so great. And I just don't care for that aspect of the company.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't understand. They used to be known for making great products, and I don't
Yes.
understand. Why would you change your whole look? Like, that's your look. Are you gonna stop making children mine in Africa for your
Steve
lithium
Jobs
and
died.
stuff?
That's when everything changed.
Yeah, Steve Jobs wouldn't have done any of this shit.
Yeah.
No, he was a weirdo, but he was a smart businessman. So
Yeah, it's interesting.
Apple can
Go ahead.
start by, first off, not building their phones in China, which is responsible for 28% of the
Right.
world's CO2 emissions.
Right.
And
exactly.
in buildings that have suicide nets to stop the workers from offing themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Happy New Year, everybody.
weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
We
Weird.
Weird.
It was just the most nauseating virtue signaling from a
I find
company
it-
I used to love.
Well, Apple. I prefer bananas myself. There you go.
So does Lizzo. Vex?
No, I find it pretty ironic that 2023 was the year that they really ramped up kind of the energy efficiency stuff and like the EV vehicles and all of that, but no one's talking about how this push to have everything kind of be like green tech is causing a lot of environmental degradation with all the mining and stuff. Then there's, like you mentioned, the suicide workers in China and stuff like that manufacturing this, and then now there's reports of Teslas that are just fucking exploding while
Yeah.
idle or turned off. There's a Samsung phones that had the exploding batteries like a year or two ago as well. It's and Apple's one of those companies too that doesn't even fix their product if it's within a warranty. They just give you a new one. So it makes you wonder what they're doing behind the scenes to kind of justify this kind of message to their consumer base. It's ridiculous.
I've been watching a channel called, I think it's Leonard Roseman. He's a repair geezer in Texas. And he's basically just been saying how fucking awful Apple are. They make back in the day, Apple made great products that lasted, whereas now they make shitty products that nobody can repair.
Do you guys remember back, I want to say it was like 2 or 3 years ago, when they openly admitted the fact that they slowed down and make their phones go down to where you have to buy one every 2 years?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Here you go, folks. Tom has some thoughts. Hello, my friend. Right to repair laws are getting better. Well, they're not getting
They
better
are.
fast enough. They just basically want, say, if a SSD in your $3,000 laptop blows,
Yeah.
you can't repair it. So it's a $3,000 paperweight. Apple
Right.
want you to buy another one. They just don't give a fuck about any
Yeah.
of us.
And it'd be different if it was reasonably priced, but their stuff
Yeah.
isn't reasonably
Yeah.
priced. It's overpriced.
No.
But have
And
you noticed that everything is going that way? Any
Yeah.
kind
Yes.
of company, they don't care about the consumer anymore.
No.
They just do what they want to do, especially TV shows, as we all know. They don't give a shit about the fans or the consumer. They just do what they want to do and expect you to
Lap
buy
it up
it. So there you go.
Yeah, bend over and take it.
Mm.
Mhm.
like a little bitch.
Yeah, I like how when they put out when they made their AirPods, they were like, they had that big C, and they're like, C stands for change. I'm like, no, C stands for cash, asshole, because that's all you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, get out of here with that nonsense.
I don't know about you, but I don't really care for AirPods. Not a big fan.
Yeah, me
So-
neither. They always fall out. I mean, like,
Yes.
I'm
But
just
it's
like, why
not-
did I
it's-
pay the
it's
money
not
for
only
this?
them though, is it? It's also Amazon and
Amazon, Google,
basically,
everybody. It's everybody.
if you buy stuff from Amazon, you download it, or you buy a film from them, they've got something in the contract saying that if they lose the copyright over that stuff, everything is gone. Everything that you bought.
Yeah.
So it's just getting worse.
Here you go. Amelia Bedelia makes a very valid point, especially if you're, say, a BMW owner with heated seats.
Mhm.
That all started in the automotive industry. Yeah.
Hot bums. Yeah.
They just don't give a fuck. They
I
just
do
don't.
when it's cold.
Yeah, they
The
just
whole
don't
car
want you.
salesman tactic.
They don't want you to be able to repair any of their products.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, if you buy their product, it's yours. They don't want it to be. They want to be the master while you use it or rent it anyway. Okay, that's Apple. Not the amazing company you thought it was, everybody.
Mother Nature.
Okay, so Apple.
Shut up, Ian.
Okay.
Number 8.
Number 8.
Nummer 8.
Okay, show us. Who's this?
Bud Light, everybody. Obviously, I didn't do the other person, but Bud
Who is
Light.
this?
Oh, weak.
I don't know anything about it.
I think this was the Bud Light, not CEO, but like the marketing CEO or something
What?
like
She's
that.
got really one of these Wiener Stout
Mhm.
names. Really.
What's wrong with this? Sorry, I
She's the reason why Bud Light went super woke and started pushing the whole trans and LGBT agenda. She's the one that put Dylan Mulvaney at the front of the marketing campaign as well. Then she couldn't take the backlash and she just disappeared for a couple of weeks because she was
Never to
tanking
be
all the sales at
seen
the
again.
yeah.
you know, was Bud Light getting money from those big companies like BlackRock to do that and stuff?
Probably.
Probably.
Well, did you guys see, it was a couple weeks to a month ago where Sylvester Stallone, I guess they reached out to him for some marketing and he's like, I'm not saving your woke product or your woke brand. I was like, good for you, dude.
He didn't
There you
say
go.
that. He said,
Shut up, Ian. But
That's what
no,
he
I
said.
mean, you ain't right for that shit. I know, poor thing, the way he talks. But yeah, I thought that was really, that spoke to his integrity. If he honestly meant it like that, I'm not saving your woke brand. Don't come to me for this. I thought that was pretty cool.
She thought the typical buyer of Bud Light was too fratty.
Yeah.
Those are the people that drink your beer because it's shit. That is the frat house type of stuff, is Budweiser and Bud Light.
I like that. Like it was like a month or two after all this broke, they did a complete 180 on the marketing, trying to win
Oh, yeah.
people
Yeah.
back. So it started being like commercials of like like people like friends at parties, or like they did the all American thing with like cowboys and trucks and all of that stuff. And it did nothing for the sales numbers. Nothing.
Oh well,
Um,
never
the
mind.
company lost billions, didn't
Yep.
they?
Yep.
Yeah, please
What's-
don't get Z to say that.
No, I'm not going to.
Have,
'Cause
do we know
wasn't-
if sales have recovered at all?
They
No,
have
they
not.
haven't.
Doubtful.
Nope.
No, they have
Oh,
not.
Do you
dear.
guys remember like when Bud Light had those Real Men of Genius commercials?
Yeah,
Did you guys
I
ever
love
see
those real men of
Yeah.
genius? So good.
Those actually really helped with their sales. It's like go
Yeah.
back to what
I've got to look that
works.
one up. I wonder if Matt had sang that song. Let me-
I wish. I'd be rolling the dough now.
Those were
those
great
yeah,
commercials.
yeah, exactly. And you know what gets me is Bud Light. So I don't drink beer, but whenever I had a party, like if my kids had a birthday party or whatever, we'd always buy Bud Light because it was cheap and nobody didn't like it. You know, they would not drink it. Because if you buy other stuff, like if you buy Guinness, some people are like, oh, it's too much. And if you buy like Budweiser, if you just buy like regular Budweiser, they're like, whatever. But if you buy Bud Light, most people drink it. But I'll never buy it again. I'm like, no, you guys done lost it. I don't even drink it. But if I did, I wouldn't buy this. I'll tell you that.
Speaking of drinking Bud Lights, look who's here, everybody.
You
Lord.
absolute bastard. Speaking
How
of
dare you
Bud
put
Light,
him in
is-
that class?
That's quite possibly the least flattering introduction I've ever had. Thank you.
The Lord is here, everybody. Hello, Lord.
was
How
all
are you, my
Brown.
friend?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
Not too bad. Happy New Year, my friend.
Happy New... Is this the first time? Yeah, okay, fine.
think
We'll go with that. Happy New Year.
can't
don't
remember. I can't remember.
Let's assume it is. Happy New Year.
Welcome
Happy
back to
New
the
Year.
shit show.
You've arrived at the optimum moment, my
Number
friend.
8. Number 8.
Number 8
Right
of
at
the
number 8.
bag
Bud
of
Light.
dicks.
Yes.
Bud Light.
Put a chick with a dick in it and make it look gay and lame.
Out of curiosity, in the UK and the US, do you guys, because over here, every major venue or bar or just event always has Bud Light. There's no other beer options. Is
Nope.
it the same
Nope.
for you guys?
Nope.
No,
not-
Bud Light is a main staple, but it's not the only one.
Right.
It's
Gotcha.
just heavily advertised.
Whereas over in the UK, we drink actual beer, and I don't think I've ever seen a can
Proper
of Bud
beer,
Light.
everybody. Yeah, I
I've
know.
seen Heineken Nort. You know what I mean?
What's
It's the
Heineken,
Heineken.
though?
Yeah,
Why?
it's
Point of that.
Heineken Nort beer. It's crazy.
Is that
I don't see the
zero
point of it
alcohol?
either. Yeah, I don't see the point of it.
So it's a sugary carbonated.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Well, I think those are good for people that either, don't want to drink but want to be part of a party, or people that are trying to wean themselves off
Going-
of alcohol. That might be
Going
a
to the
good
wrong
option.
party.
Yeah.
Lord, have you any? What's your opinion of the Bud Light fiasco?
It's hardly predictable, I guess. This is what happens when you put somebody in charge who fundamentally hates the people who buy the product. And lo and behold, it's not actually easy to change your entire audience that you've spent decades creating, because you're going to piss off more people than you gain. I don't know, because there has been some talk that there's an even bigger, more general slump in beer sales in America, which can't be directly attributed to Bud Light. So there are probably other market things at play. But yeah, talk about elaborate self-sabotage. This is a really good example.
Books will be written in future about this.
Mm-hmm.
What not to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But she thought she was clever.
Well, bitch was wrong. Moving
Yeah.
on.
Okay. Fart bubble and all that. Okay. So that was Bud Light, everybody.
Bud Light.
Bud Light.
Number 7.
Good. Oh no, what's this?
This was only number 7?
I wanted to put it higher up, but this is the cost of living crisis, everybody.
Yeah, it sucks.
Who would like to
Yeah.
go first?
I'll go first.
You go on,
It's-
Catty.
It sucks. I mean, I got a family of 4, and like going to the grocery store, you get like a pack of ramen noodles and a thing of ketchup, and it's like $200. It sucks
Yeah.
balls. I mean, like, it's so ridiculous. You can't. My kids, if they want anything like special, I'm all like, listen, fruit snacks are quite pricey, you guys. So I'm gonna need one of your arms to pay for them. It's crazy, and I think I read something or heard something that like what you spent like 3 years ago here in the States, $1, whatever $1 you spend is now like you have to spend $1.20 to pay for the same thing, and I'm all like, that's so ridiculous. I don't understand how people that are on the struggle can afford anything, and it just sucks. I hate it. It's so much. It's the worst.
Anonymous bastard in the chat. This is becoming suspiciously like Have I Got News for You?
What's that?
Yeah,
No,
what is
because
that?
TV show in
we're
England.
actually funny. So
The TV show in England.
I used to love that program until it went woke.
Woke.
I'm gonna have to look that up now.
it's not worth it. I wouldn't even bother. It was good like maybe 20 years ago. That was
Yeah,
funny.
it was. It was.
Yeah.
Like now.
Oh, cheers. Mega Geek, cost of living crisis.
What can I say? It's ridiculous. But thank God we've got Lidl. And
I love
what's that
Lidl.
other
It's my
one
favourite
called?
supermarket.
What's that other one called? Lidl, and there's another one that's
Aldi.
really cheap. Aldi and Lidl. I don't think the Americans have got that, have
We
they?
have Aldi.
Yeah,
It's a
it's right.
German-owned
To
company.
So-
shopping.
If you go there, you buy all the stuff that's been made by, I don't know, other. It looks like the ones that you want to get, but it isn't. Then you'll save a packet, basically. So that's what you should do, really.
Welcome
But,
to
yeah.
Shopping Tips with the Mega Geek. I think you're wasted directing, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Vex, any thoughts?
That's it.
It's a bit of a different situation in Canada because we have all those carbon taxes and everything. And
Oh,
Justin
Jesus.
Trudeau kept raising them throughout. They got 3 hikes throughout 2023. So every time that happens, it gets defaulted onto all the food producers and then the production, the movement and all that stuff. And then it shows up on the shelf. So there's a point where like a 3-pack of romaine lettuce was $11.99 here in Canada.
Lidl.
Yeah. So it's, and then there are things that just straight up have disappeared off the shelves and they're not in production anymore. There's even just like things that almost tripled in price during COVID. Like I'll sometimes get these little like paneer packets, and those went from $1.99 pre-COVID to now $4.49 after COVID.
Jesus.
So, and then gas prices all went up. I live like out in the middle of nowhere, so we use propane, and you'll say you pay like $50 in actual propane market value.
What?
Then they'll tack on a carbon tax, a federal tax, a provincial tax, a travel tax, and also a maintenance tax. So you end up paying $250 for $50 worth of propane.
Wow.
So it's
So what you're saying, Vex, is we should go into propane and propane accessories.
it's the cost of it's because I'll go down to Florida and I'll get all of this stuff for. I know it's more expensive for you guys, but it's like living in Canada 15 years ago when I go down to the States to buy stuff. It's that much cheaper.
Here you go, folks. Dr. Iceman in the chat. I went from eating 3 doner kebabs in a month to a donor every 3 months. So there is a plus side to the cost of living. Reni?
Yeah. Yeah. Pre-COVID prices to post-COVID or during, I don't even know what you want to call this period because they're scaremongering or fearmongering us again with that shit. But yeah, the cost of gas going up, and it's fluctuating off and down, but going up. You know, food costs going up. It's really weird. So, you know, it's always been that way where eating unhealthy is always, you know, less expensive than eating healthy. But at the same time, it's more expensive because you're having to go to the doctor more often if you're not eating properly, right? So we have a very, very backward system in this country on that front. And I don't understand why it should be more expensive to have healthy food readily available than not so healthy food,
Crazy.
So yeah, it's disgusting. And I don't know how things are in you guys' country, but the minimum wage, the federal minimum wage in the US, I believe, is still $7.25.
What?
And that is ridiculous.
Jesus.
And people in food service that are like serving staffs, like, what you used to call waiter or waitress is now a quote unquote server. They make $2 to $3 an hour because of the fact that they receive tips. And it is so ridiculous. I feel so sorry for some of these people. And, you know, my husband coming from a country that isn't used to tipping every time you eat, he's like, you know, you do every so often, but it's not every restaurant. I'm like, here, it's pretty much every restaurant except for fast food. And because these poor people cannot live off of $2 to $3 an hour. And that's, they're making that because it's contingent upon them making tips. And it's just ridiculous. So I feel sorry for them because, as you know, they're getting their belts tightened on their wages. We're getting our belts tightened because of the cost of living. So it's hard because you want to give somebody or reward somebody very nicely for doing a job well done. But at the same time, you can't afford to break the bank while you're trying to be fair to this person. So it's really tough, you know, so we try not to eat out more than once a week at this house. But you know, it is what it is. But at the same time, you know, groceries for 2 people can be like 150 plus a week, which is ridiculous. 2 people, you know? So it's really sad.
Zee?
Well, my mortgage has gone up from £500 a month to £940 a month, so I'm not a happy bunny. But on the bright side, it's still £25 for an eighth and £50 for a quarter. So some things are
inflation. Do you guys not have fixed rates at all? Or?
Yes, we do have fixed rates, but unfortunately I slipped out of the fixed rate and onto a variable, so...
oh dear.
Not very
sucks,
pleasant.
Oh dear. Lord, you're a expert with financial matters.
No, I was a financial journalist, which almost guarantees I know nothing at all about finance. No, I think Vex was right and interesting. Like, a huge amount of the cost of living crisis is obviously there is an inflation element to it, but a vast amount of that is completely arbitrary added on top in terms of taxes, sales tax, value-added tax, carbon offsetting, all the rest of that stuff, which is just driving up the cost of living probably, and has been for quite a long time, faster than inflation is doing. If the government's principally concerned with tackling a cost of living crisis, the government absolutely has it within its power to do more than almost any other entity in the country to bring that down, which is stop taxing people to the degree that you're currently taxing. My upper tax rate this year is going to be probably, marginal tax rate is going to be above 60%. Because if you factor in student loans, postgraduate student loans, income tax, national insurance, all the rest of that goes on top, that's before you start looking at value-added tax on everything that you buy. Effectively, 60p in every £1 I earn above a certain level is going straight to a government which can't fix fucking potholes, and it's really quite annoying. Why is it that we currently live in a country where you can't actually travel out of my village at the moment because when it rains, the villages just flood, so they become islands. There's one bypass that's had roadworks on it longer than I've been alive, which is not great. It takes 5 years to fix a pothole. I went to London at the weekend. Trains delayed massively because it rains. Also, engineering works. Also, another round of strikes. You get like half the carriages are full of either homeless people or hipsters, and you can't really tell the difference. Then you get to London, and you find like everything is just in a state of complete collapse and disarray. Yet we're paying record high taxation, and that's driving up the cost of living. In order that a government can pretend to fix the planet when it can't even fix the roads. And I'm quite sick of it. So I'm going to be setting myself up as an offshore business this year. So fuck them. No, they're not getting any more of my money. And I will keep a lot more of what I do earn. And my cost of living will be eased immensely by not paying all the taxes that the government is lumbering on every single product that I want to consume.
So will you... Sorry, I cut you off. Will you be, will you be officially moving to India then?
No. Just for like business purposes, I will be set up somewhere like the Cayman Islands.
Do you guys have everybody? Do you guys have the same thing in the UK where they tax you by income bracket?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Because mine's going up now to, I'm in a low income bracket, but mine's going up to 46.1%.
What?
As of January 4th.
What? Little. Go and shop.
You need to move to the
You have the
States.
double thing in this country because I don't know if you have it in Canada. You have the tax-free personal allowance, which is I think it's £12,500. So
Yes.
anything below that isn't taxed, and that's taken off your total tax reportable revenue. But they froze that several years ago, so it hasn't kept up in line with inflation. So that's automatically a de facto sneaky tax rise. But also, when you earn above a certain amount and that bracket's coming down relative to inflation, they reduce the tax-free personal allowance, which means that you're actually paying even more in tax than you think, because the amount that's untaxed is decreasing relative to inflation and relative to earnings, which means that effectively people who think that they're only on a tax rate of, say, 40%, only 40%, just think about it, are actually paying much closer to 46 or 50 because of the reduction in various allowances and things like that. The inflation's been incredibly bad, largely because of government policy and money printing to try and fund stupid government policy. That's bad, and we should do something about that. But again, if you want to do it quickest, fastest, and most efficiently, look at what you are spending as a government and start cutting stuff.
Catty, did I ask you? I can't remember.
You did. I said it sucks.
Okay, that probably should have been higher, but
that should have been number one.
That should have been a special category. Yes. Sorry, folks. I
was
will
going to
try
say,
harder.
let's go, Brandon. Like Black Lives or Black Knives, but it seems to be all around, not just U.S.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Sorry,
over the
folks.
world. Yeah, worldwide, it's happening.
Little, mate,
Sorry.
little.
We're fucked. Okay,
You go to little.
Moving on.
Well, I guess with mass immigration, the cost of cheap prostitutes is probably going down. So you could get fucked for less money than everything else.
Okay,
give Brown a site. He'll check it out.
I've taken notes. Thank you.
Number 6.
As long as they come from Romania, I'll be happy. Okay. Number 6, everybody. And all that. Okay. Here we go.
Oh,
look at that. Look at that.
Weird.
Weird. Who would like to go first?
Oh dear. Coughing started.
Well, I'll go first since I was volunteering. Rachel Zegler, I mean, I don't feel bad for her because, sometimes bitches just need to learn to shut the fuck up. Yeah, she just needs to learn to shut the fuck up sometimes. And I mean, I get that Disney wanted her to say their talking points, but obviously her talking points were stupid, and she was just like, I'm going to add on a little bit of something extra here, and it was obviously not the smart thing to say. And I feel like anytime anybody says, it's 2024 now, anything after that is just going to be stupid. And I just, and she's one of them, and her comments about Snow White are dumb, and I'm pretty sure she's going to try her hardest to pull back on that.
She backtracked.
And and so hopefully, I mean, it doesn't matter what they do now. I'm not going to see this movie, so.
Ian, Rachel Zegler, on a scale of 1 to 10, what mark would you give her?
Shall I do the joke? 1. I'll give her 1. How's that?
Very good. So
she's an idiot anyway, isn't she? Let's face it, complete and utter idiot. But yes, that's the young today being influenced by a holy woke, aren't they? So that's what she's going to say, and that's what we expect, isn't it?
Did you see who was it? Who was is it Jodie Foster? I want to say it's Jodie Foster who was quoted in an interview today complaining about Gen Z types being like incompetent, low effort people. They don't fancy going to work today, so they just won't. Like this, Rachel Zegler, you're basically talking about, like, she's the embodiment of that entire section of the generation. I will say for Gen Z, it's not all of them. It's mostly the ones who've been cradle to grave supported first by their parents and then taken out student loans to do pointless university courses, which make them unqualified for any real work. Those are the ones who are really fucking insufferable. But I'm sure there are some nice Gen Z people we just don't hear about.
Lord, you're really warmed up this evening, aren't you? This
is my second stream of the evening.
You need to do that in future so you come in hot.
Hey, I was going to say, he's coming in hot.
He is. Vex?
I mean, I think this was one of those things where she was coached to say this. Like, yes, to a certain extent, she believes it. That's why she did all the stuff like on Twitter and online, whatnot. But it's like the Echo chick that's been in interviews recently saying
that's how
right, it's they're all coached to say this because this is where the money's coming from and whatever. So it's a shame because I don't know, I haven't seen her in anything else, so I can't speak on her talent, but it's I don't know, they don't know any better, right? They haven't been in the industry, so they just take the word of the publicist or the exec and run with it and start to believe it themselves. But it was really insufferable what came out of her mouth.
But they don't have to, though, do they?
I mean, if she wants to keep a paycheck, I imagine there's certain stipulations that she's got to follow, right?
So you're saying that she's doing it only because of the money?
I think it would be pretty safe to say you come literally you do what West Side Story, the musical, which basically bombed, and then all of a sudden you have a multi-million-dollar Disney contract. She's probably getting like a hefty amount of money to go around and parrot these points and all that. But again, it is a Gen Z problem too, right? And a lot of these little shits believe this kind of stuff at the same time. So it's a bit of both, in my opinion.
Reni?
Yeah, I don't give a whole lot of fucks about this bitch. So, like, honestly, I don't think she's that noteworthy or newsworthy. She was basically like in the limelight for,
She does
being a big time SJW, so to speak. But at the same time, it's like then she faded away because she kind of backtracked. So I don't know. I think this is, kind of like what Vex had said, like what basically the entertainment industry is putting her up to, as well as, her just being a bratty Gen Zer. So, it is what it is, but I don't really find her entertaining or that relevant, to be honest. So I could care less about her.
She shills hard for the money. Did it.
Yeah, but so does everybody else in
Shills
Hollywood,
hard
right?
for the money.
Snow White. She's not even white.
Everyone else does. I know. But you know what? She probably, took the job kind of like the Little Mermaid chick, just to be like,
No, but she
I'm going
was
to
all
show you
right.
Snow White can be
She didn't-
diverse.
so
Okay,
as
well,
far
that's
as I
not what the
know,
book
the
says
Little
or the story
Mermaid-
says.
The Little Mermaid girl didn't really go off like her, did she?
She was
No,
pleased to be there.
Yeah,
she
that's
was
what I'm
fairly
saying.
quiet.
Yeah, she was
so-
pleased to be there. She was enjoying her moments.
There you go.
Z?
I don't know why Hollywood keeps trying to push her. I mean,
I wish I'd
she's
push her off a
hardly-
cliff.
Well,
yeah,
Yeah,
she's hardly
that'd be
had any
fun.
successes. I'm just
Into
looking at her last
shark-infested
3
waters.
films. You got West Side Story that did 74 million. That's
Spielberg.
not a success. Shazam, Fury of the Gods,
Shazam.
which did 132 million and was a financial bust. And the most recent one, The Hunger Games, did 320 million, which it's a success, but it's not a very good one. But
I
they still
imagine
want
they're-
her front and center. She's a bit like Freckled Jesus, keeps appearing, but nobody wants to look at her.
You remember
Brutal.
there are like several actresses that were just like pushed front and center throughout like the 80s and 90s. I imagine Rachel Zegler was there, just like, oh, this could be the next potential it girl kind of deal, and that's why they kept trying to put. But also, this interview clip was old, and this came out when the writer's strike and everything was happening, so people were digging up old stuff, and that's the only reason this came. I doubt this would have come to light if it weren't for that strike, because people were looking for something.
Yeah. Lord?
I have no particular thoughts about Rachel Ziegler. She's
Okay.
deeply uninteresting person.
Yeah, she should have been a little bit further down the list.
She's weird.
Yeah, not that noteworthy.
Weird,
Deeply uninteresting.
Yes.
I'll take that. Let's move on.
Number 5.
Okay, number 5, everybody.
Is alive.
Oh, God.
Season 2 is just a couple of months away.
Oh. Lord first, Velma.
Well, it did my channel incredibly well, so I
It did.
very much enjoyed it.
It did.
Yeah, although it's also the most frustrating experience I ever had, because that first video, I think it hit 250,000 views in 2 hours, and then
What?
they hit it for copyright, and it
Oh, I remember
died.
that. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
I was on this stream at the time, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. You were cut up about that.
Yeah, it was deeply, deeply fucking irritating. But the show itself, it's one of those things that you can find some enjoyment in it if you look at it and you sort of laugh at the fact that anyone involved thought this was a good idea. Like, they thought this was funny. Someone is that balked in terms of sense of humor and style and grace and taste. They thought this was good. That's kind of funny in a way. So I'm looking forward to season 2 just because it's really quite fun to rag on, really. But otherwise, I don't really understand how this came to be.
The series would have been produced back to back.
Oh yeah, no, I'm
That's
talking
why-
about Velma. Like, how did
Yeah,
even
that's why we're
season
getting
1
it.
come to be? Is the question.
Yeah.
Like, who ever greenlit this, thinking, yeah, that's a great plan?
Z?
I didn't watch Velma, so I can't really comment on it. I did
Oh,
watch
you're
all of the
lucky.
YouTube coverage, though, and that was bloody hilarious.
I watched the first episode. It was awful. Just mean. Reni, did you watch it?
No, I really don't feel like this was as big of a deal to put it on top 10 bag of dicks, is my personal opinion, but not worth my time, not watching it. One of those things when HBO was rebranding to Max, just didn't have any interest whatsoever. So
This was slightly lower, but I moved it upwards. Perhaps I shouldn't have. Vex?
I mean, I felt insulted to be represented finally in mainstream media, so I'll give it that. I didn't finish all of Velma. I know someone who unironically liked Velma and didn't think it was
Really?
that bad. Yeah, but he's also a denthead, so I'll leave it at that. I don't know, just Scooby-Doo could make a comeback, but this should not have been it at all. Scooby-Doo's really iconic. I don't know why they rebranded it the way they did. Mindy Kaling's always been fucking insufferable. I don't know who thought that she would be great as a writer on anything. Like nobody even liked her on The Office as like a tertiary
she was
character.
annoying. Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't finish it. And I wasn't making content. So I'm looking forward to actually reviewing season 2 as a South Asian woman.
You'll do well. Ian, did you watch any of it?
I only watched, I think it was the first 5 minutes, and then I switched off. It was absolute rubbish. It really was total nonsense. Very mean-spirited.
It was.
Yeah, I heard all the reviews from the Lord and you guys and stuff like that. It just made me realize I shouldn't watch any of it, and I didn't. So there you go.
As I said before previously, the locker room scene where there's a cockroach on the floor and somebody just treads on it just for treading on sake. I just thought, okay, this is pretty fucking mean, really.
But that was intro after the cockroaches were fucking for some reason. There's a scene where the cockroaches just bomb each other, and then I think they get stepped on. I don't understand why that's there.
What's
it
the
makes
point
no
in
sense.
Just horrible. Catty?
I didn't finish it because it was quite annoying, and I'll piggyback on a little bit what Vex was saying. I think Mindy Kaling is a horrible writer. I do not understand why anybody. I watched that movie that she wrote, that late night show or whatever it was called.
Yeah, I saw that
movie. Yeah, that movie sucked. I do not understand why Mindy Kaling keeps getting jobs. She's not talented, acting wise or writing wise. I just don't understand it. And I only watched the first 3 episodes, I think, and then I was like, this is lame. I'm not watching anymore. But I will cover season 2 because, like Platoon, I want to make that money. So so I'm going to be.
Wait a moment. Did she write that film, Matt?
I think she wrote it.
Because there was a bit in it where she's, I think it was Emma
Hold on.
Thompson. Is it Emma Thompson? Said to her, "You only got the job because
you're a diversity hire."
And then you think, "Oh, wow, that was clever." And then she goes on to say, even if you did get the job, you should use it. Use it to your advantage.
Yeah.
Fuck everybody else and use it to your advantage.
It was written by
Sounds
Mindy
like
Kaling.
she wrote it. Yeah.
Yeah, she wrote it. So, I can't think of anything else that she's written. But every time she's on or she writes something, she wrote for The Office, and I personally don't like The Office, but I just don't like Mindy Kaling. She's just terrible. So
she's very off-putting.
Yeah, and when I see her in interviews, it's just like, ugh, go away.
Do you feel like she's one of those people where she just basically plays herself in any role that she's in?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, because that's how I feel.
And I'm pretty sure her parents told her all her life she was so good at everything, and I'm like,
you're awesome.
Stunning and brave, you're so
maybe you should tell. Maybe you should tell your kid she's not like great at makeup, okay, or something. Be like, you're not that great. You're not as great as you think you are.
Amelia Bedelia. It could be worse. She could be writing for Star Wars.
Give it time. Give it time.
She's got that. It's that first generation Western South Asian thing. Like Lily Singh is another example of this.
Oh my god! Right.
Yeah, all these brown kids that grow. Carl Penn's another one. They all grew up in the U.S. or Canada and the UK, and they all adapt all of this fucking post-Marxist liberal ideology, and that's exactly what their parents were trying to flee from, which is
But you know,
big
Cal
thing.
Penn was really cool before he served for Obama. Like I loved him in the Harold and Kumar
Bit of
movies.
politics,
He was
everybody.
awesome.
Yeah, politics.
And
Good
then
in-house
he
as
got
well.
into politics, and yeah, it's like, oh, this sucks.
They're playing the long game, aren't they, these people? So basically, they're trying to groom kids with all this nonsense. That's why there's so much of this crap. They're trying to make the next generation accept all this stuff as normal. And that's their game plan. So I don't know if you can see that.
Z, are you available, my friend?
I most certainly am. RRTNC for $5 New Zealand says, let's all skip ahead to number 1 best thing. Brown Alliance grows to 4K subs with 10K definitely in reach before the year's end. Think about the memberships, mate.
People keep asking for that, man. You might want to think about it.
Yeah, do it, dude.
If they're wanting to do it, then it's a good thing to have it. Just saying.
Okay.
But have you not
do you
turned on
remember-
memberships yet?
hasn't.
Lord, I need to speak to you about that after the stream.
He's
if that's
not,
possible, at some point.
Just
thought
turn
you
them
were
on.
Run
That's
away,
all you have to do.
Run away.
You literally just turn them on and name the ranks.
I don't like asking for money. I
You're
feel
not asking
awkward.
for money. You turn them on, and then people
Oh, we
look
have
at the
this-
channel. They say memberships,
Well,
and people
okay,
choose. People say,
hold
"Oh,
on.
I want
Do
to be
I
a
have
member,"
to
so
pay-
they click it.
Does
No.
that mean I have to pay them?
No. Why would you have to
Oh,
pay your
okay. I'm getting
members?
Hold on,
confused.
but
I
you-
thought I had to pay them.
You have to do stuff for them, like, you know, members only streams and stuff like that. But I think they'd appreciate it. You know what? If we had like a panel where it was just like you were doing a Q&A with your members, they might really enjoy stuff like that. You
What,
know?
a good member.
You can do custom emojis, which you are a graphic designer, aren't you, Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In previous life, yes.
See, you could
Brown.
even have like member tiers like Stunning and Brown because your name's Brown.
No, but
you
the
know?
main one will be it's shit.
Well, there's It's Shit, Stunning and
Lord
Brown,
has
you know.
spoken.
Uh,
Billions
Bag of
on
dicks.
me.
Brown,
I'm a member.
how are you going to say that you have trouble asking for money when pinned on the chat right now
Yes.
is a channel donations link?
I was about to say that back
Sheer
then, and I
double
like started
fucking
naming
standards.
like
Okay.
tiers. Thank you.
Sheer double fucking standards.
What number is this
Oh,
again?
And let's not
Fuck
forget
knows.
that
This
on
is
the
5.
straight after this, Biden presented her with a National Humanities
Oh,
Medal,
That's
which pretty much guaranteed a season
Yeah.
2.
Because
Jesus
she's a
Christ.
brown woman. Yeah.
Well, they'll just give it to anybody now. Shoot.
Yep.
I mean, anyone that's brown, of course. Yeah.
I'm brown. Here you go, Tom, for £2. Real money, folks. Thank you, my friend. Velma, my good. So good. What's that? My good.
It's an internet thing, bro. It's fine.
Oh, okay. I'm old. Sorry, folks.
So like OMG, but like said like, you know, differently. You know.
Go on then.
So
You know. that, so shoot.
Ermagerd.
You my
So-
good.
My good.
Yeah.
Goosebumps.
Moving on.
Moving on. Okay,
Moving on.
Velma. Dog
Roll on.
shite.
Number 4.
All that.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Okay. Oh,
Oh.
Jesus.
Oh, the marbles.
The marbles.
I think it would have been very predictable to put this first.
Hold on, just quick question. Is there another Marvel product on the rest of this list?
There should be.
Yeah, because you could have just put MCU on the list
Pass.
instead
I
of
was gonna say-
breaking it up.
I feel like Ant-Man 3 should have been the one, because that's the one that even the normies woke up to, which
Really?
really,
Do you know, I completely
destroyed.
forgot about that. It was so
Yeah.
forgettable. I completely forgot about it.
this was a bad movie, but it didn't break what little support Marvel had left. Ant-Man 3 did that.
Really?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we know why Brown put this up because of Bray.
3.
He
Yeah.
wanted to
Bye.
see them funky
Smelly feet,
feet.
Bray. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can
I lick your toes,
We've all-
Bree?
No, we've
Ew,
all got
don't do
we've all got our crosses to bear. How many more times?
Yeah.
Or feet to suck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Toes to lick.
Bree, I am
Not
available.
hers.
Just wear your socks, please.
Yeah,
If
her
you
feet
turn
are
on
gross.
channel memberships, you could actually have her feed as a custom emoji.
That would be
I would-
amazing.
Catty, thoughts on the Marvels? You're a
It
professional.
was
Go on.
Oh, it was not good. I mean, I really like that Iman Vellani girl that plays Ms. Marvel. That's the only part that I really liked about it. She's so charming and a likable person, but the movie wasn't good. I didn't care for the villain and her big ass teeth. It just wasn't good. I didn't like it at all. And, yeah, it didn't need to be made. It just didn't need to be, yeah, that's it. It was just bad. It's bad.
We all knew it was going to be bad. Ian?
It was shit. That's it.
Vex?
Yeah, I'm glad it came out because it did marvelous things for my channel. But other than that, I knew it was going to be bad, but I thought it would be like ultra woke kind of bad, but it was just fundamentally
really,
bad.
Yeah.
It was shit.
Yeah, it was shit. Quite disappointing.
Reni?
Didn't watch, wasn't worth
Okay.
my time. I told you guys after Endgame, Marvel just sucked ass. So that's me.
Zee?
Whose ass?
Watched the
Raunchy
first half
ass.
hour and turned it off. It really, it's not made for me. I've got to come to the terms that Doctor Who and Marvel and Star Wars, they're just not made for me anymore. They've gone from
Yeah.
family entertainment
Agree with
to
that.
entertaining the specific 5% on Twitter who actually like this sort of garbage. Now, I don't like Carol Danvers. I think she's a terrible, terrible character. I don't like Monica Rambeau. The way she got her powers in WandaVision was so contrived. I bloody hated it.
Yeah.
I didn't watch Miss Marvel, but I've got to say that Iman Vellani is such an energetic and enjoyable person to listen to. She's an amazing ambassador, and really protect this woman.
Yeah, I agree.
There you go, folks.
She's like the anti-Zegler.
Right, yeah, that's good. I
Wow.
like that. I like that.
I don't think we all knew this was going to be shite. I don't
didn't.
think all the channels went as hard on this as they could have, in my opinion.
It wasn't woke, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Which is the
Did
only
you
good
did
thing
you
about
watch
it.
Platoon's review? Hold on.
Well, I didn't watch Platoon's review, and I'm pretty sure he'd find woke stuff in there. But according to everybody that I've listened to, I haven't seen Ben's one. A lot of people say it wasn't woke. I don't know.
Lord?
No, I'd agree. Of all the things that are wrong with it, that's not one. It's everything else that's wrong with the film that makes it an absolute disaster. The only surprising thing was, it was slightly surprising, I guess, that it wasn't particularly woken in terms of messaging and all the rest of that. It lost a lot of that stuff that was present in the 2019 film, all the girl power, men are shit thing. That wasn't really a feature in this film because there weren't any men in the film to be shitting on, so that's one thing. But no, it was just the surprise was how it found new ways to be unexpectedly awful. I wasn't expecting a musical, for example. That was surprising.
Awful.
Not in a good way.
Awful.
Otherwise, I think a lot of people maybe didn't go as hard on it as they could have done is because it is just baked in now that this is just shit. It isn't made for this audience, and no one's actually seeing it either. It didn't have a huge amount of publicity behind it. There weren't people preemptively defending it against accusations of wokery. There weren't people saying all the critics are sexist. Like, those people were pretty much quiet, so there wasn't a huge amount of community argument over it. It was just a non-entity film. And it's probably the first of all the Marvel films, and I do include the shit Phase 4 ones, that you don't have to see. It adds nothing. It takes away nothing, really. It's just there, and it's irrelevant.
There you go, folks. Black Lives or Black Knives for $2. Thank you, my friend. What sucks more, the film or Brune sucking Bree's toes?
I think the
Toes.
bit.
Toes.
Yeah.
Toes.
Brown
Definitely.
loved them toes.
Toes. Just gross.
Her toes are gross. They are gross. I
Brown
regret
to go
looking-
down on dim toes.
Everything else is pretty good, but, toes.
She's very plain.
Just how I like them.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's not very, like, did you guys see her when she went into that theater and she's like, they told me it's sold out. Maybe they'll like it. Maybe they won't. I'm all like, you are the worst salesman ever. Like, what is going on with
Why
you?
wasn't I in that theater?
Well, she knows that it was going to be a flop. She knew it. She
Yeah.
definitely knew it.
Bree,
And
you should have flown over to Castleford. I'd have given you a warm welcome, love.
She wouldn't have done that, Brown. She has a restraining order against you.
I was gonna say maybe she doesn't have daddy issues.
Yeah, it's 50.
Anyways.
No, it's 50 feet.
I'm sorry, but what
Okay.
happened to the attractive, gorgeous-looking female?
She's there in the
heroines?
middle.
Where they're all below par as far as I'm concerned.
I think Bree is
Subpar.
good looking. I
What's
just
good looking as Linda Carter? I don't think so.
I mean,
know what?
maybe if you're comparing her to other people, but I mean, I think Brie Larson is good looking. It's just she's just not. She's just got a crappy
sales pitch
personality.
Brie Larson is really attractive if you don't compare her to anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
She's mid.
I think
but
she's
that's
good
just-
looking. I just don't. I
That's
it's just
that
her
woman you're
personality.
slagging off.
She's plain. She's plain.
Bastards.
She's.
Before-
I mean,
Shut up.
what you call it?
Before-
Gal Gadot is good looking, but Brie,
She
I'm
is.
sorry, she's not.
Before Brie lost all the weight to play Captain Marvel, she looked much better. She actually had a pretty
Somewhere in the middle is
yeah.
perfect. Yes,
She
somewhere in the
she
middle.
lost all the weight and now she just looks gaunt and it's not doing any favors for that bone structure she has. So
Waylon Pacificus, thank you, my friend.
But I don't care if you side with him. She
Yeah,
is
but
plain.
Waylon's not picky. He'll take anything that moves. So
I'll give her
Nothing
one.
wrong with that. Typhoon, I'd give it one. Yeah, so would I. Out of 10, obviously. Okay, so that was the Marvels, folks. We all knew it was going to be shit.
Let them have it now. Let them have everything.
I
Let them have it all.
I think they probably got away with it by the skin of their teeth in the YouTube sphere. But anyway, okay. Let's move on.
Number 3.
All that.
Number 3.
Coming in, number 3. New entry.
Oh, God.
Mm.
No, this was rubbish. An Oompa Loompa. That's what she is. A big Oompa Loompa. Jesus Christ.
Would what's his name? Hugh Grant play her boyfriend? Like
Yeah, probably.
yeah, that'd be a good film. I'd pay for that. Z, thoughts on Ahsoka?
I thought it was some of the worst television I've ever watched in my entire life. My favourite part about it is if you turn off the sound when they're having lightsaber fights, it really does look like they're just swinging around baseball bats. It ruined Ahsoka, it ruined Sabine, it ruined Hera. I think the only character that wasn't ruined throughout this was Chopper.
Good ass shots though.
Yeah,
It's
good
rubbish.
choice, but God, it was really, really bad. And I hear they're not doing a season 2,
They got
apparently.
binned, didn't it?
So
apparently.
that just means she's stuck there forever with Sabine, God help her.
Poor
and
cat.
will die there.
they're gonna
Stick that
scissor
in
to
your pipe and
death.
smoke.
There you go.
Look at scissoring. Reni, did you see Ahsoka?
no. As you guys know, I never trusted Filoni. I've always been an advocate of sticking to source material or things that had George Lucas's blessing, and Ahsoka was supposed to die in Order 66. So I have no interest whatsoever seeing her. I was all into the earlier versions of Clone Wars with her and Anakin training together, but there is absolutely no need for a show like this. So
Amelia Bedelia learnt about penetration. I learned being penetrated by a lightsaber won't kill you.
Unless you're
Well,
a
we learned
man.
that in Obi-Wan.
It's a Disney way.
Unless you're a man.
Yeah. Vex.
I mean, I don't like Star Wars, but I gave this a shot anyways. Gave up at episode 3. It just was not very entertaining. It doesn't welcome new fans to the fandom whatsoever because there's so much legwork you had to do just to understand the barely there connections that were there. There were some good cast members in there that were just completely wasted. It's a shame that this is the last thing Ray Stevenson will be credited for.
Oh, poor Ray.
It's very disappointing as someone who's a non-Star Wars fan. This is just not good television.
Ian?
I only saw one episode. It's absolute rubbish. Total shit.
You
What can I
bailed,
say?
didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I bailed. It's just complete nonsense, really. That's what it is. I mean, Ahsoka, you can tell it was all woke stuff, and it was all about the women. None of them, all the men were idiots, all that kind of stuff. So no, I was out.
Catty?
Yeah, it was terrible. I didn't like it at all. To piggyback on what Z said, the lightsaber battles, like I posted on my Twitter last night. Me and my kids were lightsaber fighting in our living room, and that was better than any choreography in this entire fucking show, because I'm all like I just like, did they not practice the day before? Like, it was so bad, and the story sucks. To also piggyback on something Reni had mentioned, Filoni, I do not understand how people, these Star Wars nut huggers, are talking about how Filoni is saving Star Wars, because I just want to be like, I don't think Filoni understands Star Wars. I don't think he likes Star Wars.
We trust him, though.
Filoni doesn't understand Star Wars.
I just don't. I don't think he likes Star Wars or its fans. I think that he wants Star Wars to. He wants to create what he wants, but he wants to use lightsabers and TIE fighters, and he hates you if you criticize him in any way, shape, or form. And this was not good, and I wish they hadn't made it. And like Reni said, I just wish Ahsoka had died, so that way at least I could remember her fondly.
Lots of standing around.
Exactly.
There was a highlight though. Frog parrot fucker. That was a highlight.
Yeah.
Is that where Grogu came from?
Yes. Yep.
I think that was Ciderfeet who described an alien in the later episodes. Much hilarity in the chat. Lord, thoughts on Ahsoka?
I don't think we've seen the last of it. I don't believe it's been cancelled. I think it's just not been confirmed as a second season yet.
Maybe
now
delayed?
That might mean it's delayed. It might mean that it's going to be rolled into whatever film Filoni still thinks is going to be happening. And let's bear in mind he's been promoted as a response to this show. So this is his baby. To the extent Dave Filoni has any involvement in Star Wars going forward, and it seems like he's going to have more, not less. We have not seen the last of Ahsoka. We'll see her in one form or another anyway. But the show itself, it ought really to have got him sacked, not promoted, because it's a complete waste of time, energy, effort, and an astounding amount of money. Something like $200 million. Star Wars needs a good film. It does not need like shit shows no one are going to watch, and that's a film budget that's been expended on this show. So yeah, it's not looking good. But as for Filoni not understanding Star Wars, I think what he doesn't understand is good writing. I think he sort of, there's a vague understanding of Star Wars there. He was George Lucas's chosen apprentice. He worked closely with him for many years. He probably is deeply enmeshed in the lore because he helped create so much of it. Thanks to Filoni, we have the likes of the World Between Worlds, which means that no character need ever be dead anymore. Hooray.
Nobody's ever gone.
Yeah, no one's ever truly gone. So yeah, no, we'll see him again. Dave Filoni will still be important. Star Wars is not going anywhere, but it's not going anywhere good either. So expect it to lose money again at some point.
Z, you available, mate?
I most certainly am. Professor R2 for $2. They went full Filoni. Never go full Filoni.
So true.
Agreed.
Absolutely. And didn't you think that Thrawn was one of the worst villains ever?
The
Every time he
worst.
did
Such a
something,
clown.
It was all a plan, though, wasn't it?
We've sent 2 TIE fighters after them, Grand Admiral, and they've destroyed everything is proceeding according to my plans. It's all going ahead just swimmingly, thank you.
It's such a shame too, because Admiral Thrawn in the trilogy that he's in the books is so good, and I'm just
He's
like,
awesome.
and I'm just like, man, it's just, why wouldn't you? I don't know, man. It sucks.
Why wouldn't
but
you stick to the source material? The
Yeah.
source material is amazing.
It is really good.
And Lucas gave his blessing to the EU, and for good reason, because it was faithful to his product. So I don't understand why you wouldn't go with it, because the writing was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Question: has George Lucas made any comments about the state of Star Wars?
I think he said he doesn't care about Star Wars anymore.
Ex-girlfriend annology. Doesn't want to go
Yeah,
there.
it was ex-wife, because it's like getting a divorce. You can't go back and park outside the house. You have to pretend that you're moved on now. And yes, it feels like giving your children to white slavers, but I've moved on. I don't think he said much since then.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And on that bombshell, let's move on.
Yes.
Coming in hot, number 2
Big number 2.
rhymes with poo.
Nice.
I'm curious about what number 1 is now, because this has
I
got
was
to
gonna
be
say,
a close contender.
It's gonna be good, whatever.
we
it
just
is.
have a whole lot of Disney on here. Why couldn't we have lumped Disney into one big bag of dicks award
True.
instead of
We
them
did that
taking up
last.
so
Yeah,
much of the
we
list?
did that last year,
Yeah.
and people shouted at me.
But it's also a function of the fact that Disney owns all the most popular IPs. So like, if Disney owns everything, then most things on the list will be Disney.
Yeah, but like you could just say Disney, you know what I mean? Or,
But did
or
anything else happen?
What do you mean? Throughout 2023 in general?
I
Yeah,
think
like-
I think I zoned out.
the
There was a
actor and
lot.
writers strikes.
Yeah.
There were quite a bit of things that happened in 2023 that were pretty noteworthy, other than just Disney.
When?
Could do the whole
actors
James
and-
Gunn stuff and
Yep.
the DC imploding and
Yep.
WB
I think it
imploding.
imploded anyway.
Yeah, but it was the end of an era kind of deal, and not a lot of people have faith in James Gunn moving forward. Then there
Correct.
And that'll be on next year's stream, that we're guaranteed.
we had a war, the potential start of a new war happen as well.
That's right.
Indiana Jones is much worse than the war in Ukraine.
Of course it is. Yeah, I got shouted at last year for doing kind of real life stuff, so I tried to keep it to a minimum.
I
this
think
year.
next year you can safely lump everything under Disney into one.
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. Disney doesn't deserve that much attention, in my opinion.
Because we also talked about each one of these to death on the actual show throughout the year. So
Possibly, but this one is special. Mega Geek, you're a big fan of Indiana Jones. Did you ever watch this?
Of course, I
I
watched
can't
it.
remember. Oh, right,
I
okay.
got dragged to the cinema from my friends. Dragged me to the cinema.
Are they still friends?
No. This has got to be
Oh, it's
the
Keith,
worst
wasn't
film
it?
I've seen. Yeah, period. It really is the worst.
Oh dear.
You know, like what they did to Star Wars, it's nothing compared to what they did to Indiana Jones in this film. Seriously, I think the only one that
She
beats
does.
this is Doctor Who, obviously. But
Dr.
This-
Watt.
yeah, Dr. Watt and Dr. Ooh. So this film was just awful. I mean, Harrison Ford should be ashamed of himself being part of this absolute bollocks mess. It was absolute shit, this film. That's all I can say. Total rubbish.
Vex.
much like the Marvels, this did a lot of good for my channel. But at the same time, yes, this is a
you.
Oh, good
complete
for you.
bastardization. Very, very disappointing to see such an iconic character just do a 180 in every respect. And the Helena Shaw was not an interesting character whatsoever. The
Nope.
effects were poor. The villain was absolutely wasted. Special effects were. The whole thing is just a disaster. Absolute disaster. It's a shame.
It is. Totally.
I wanted to put Waller Bridge in, but Reni?
Yeah, I had no interest in watching this whatsoever. I saw the trailer come out, I think in front of The Flash. The first half of the trailer looked pretty interesting, and then it's like, oh, okay, I see. Not interested. I have heard time and time again, number 4 was more like Indiana Jones and better than this
They
this
got
one.
away with
So
it just.
I don't know. I don't see the point of seeing Indiana Jones get crucified on the silver screen. So not
in the
interested.
chats, new face, hello my friend, Alex Ascan. On the positive side, they saved Mr. Hilter from the Nazi.
Mhm. Indiana became pro SS in this movie.
I mean, 80 years old, jumping around on moving vehicles and stuff like that. You just don't believe it. It's ridiculous. The
Is
whole
it
thing.
like
Yeah.
SS Lives Matters? Z?
Well, I watched it. I didn't like it. It's just Disney formula, isn't it? They deconstructed yet another hero and turned him into a sad, pathetic old man who wants to die, only to be saved by a Kathleen Kennedy self-insert.
Oh.
It's getting a bit tedious now.
Absolutely agree.
And there is nothing, not one single thing about this movie that I like. And
Not
also
even
got-
hot Mads Mikkelsen in an SS uniform. That
No,
saved the movie
probably
a little
wasted.
bit.
Probably wasted.
No.
That be you then.
And also James Mangold coming out on X and saying, "Well, it's not a time travel thing." Well, you
Ugh.
fucking liar! Of course,
But did
it bloody
you
is.
did you hear about the original script? Had short
No,
round
what?
in it. The
What
original
was
yeah,
it?
that
script.
would
He
have been
even
a lot
admits it,
better.
doesn't he?
Oscar
Yeah,
winner. Oscar winner.
what's his name? Mangold actually admitted the script before the one that he changed and Kathleen Kennedy changed had Marion, Short Round, and Indiana Jones.
Oh.
I
Did
don't
he
know if you
say-
guys read that. Did you read it?
I
did.
didn't see it.
No.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Well
so
done,
there you go.
KK. Well done, KK. Lord?
Well, yeah, it was funny. It was a very funny film, just completely unintentionally so. Like the fact that there was at one point in the film where they were flying around effectively saying like we have to shoot the Romans to save Hitler. So what? I don't get it. What? How has this happened? Why does
The continental drift.
affects continental drift? Yeah, it affects portals in the sky. What? I don't get it. But otherwise, yeah. But besides sort of the gallows humor, the only reason I would say that this is not as bad as something like TLJ is that there was more life in Star Wars when TLJ came out, so there was less to there was more to damage in the franchise. That killed something. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is just confirmation that the thing died ages ago, and all they did was wheel out the corpse again because they had nothing else to do with their time. So it's technically probably a worse film. I don't consider it the same sort of cultural catastrophe, but it is a catastrophe of a film. It's just laughably bad in all of the ways.
Catty?
Yeah, I didn't like it, and a small piece. It was just a big waste of time, a big waste of effort, a waste of talent.
Money.
Yeah, money. It was a waste is a great word to describe this movie in every way, shape, or form. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm kind of happy that it failed because it just is another feather in Kathleen Kennedy's cap that she's not good at her job. And I do not understand why she hasn't been fired. Like when you fail at failure after
Negatives.
failure, she just keeps, landing on top, and I do not understand that process
Skeletons
of
in
thinking.
the closet.
Yeah.
Moloch. Hello, Moloch. Hello, my friend. All I saw was knock an 80-year-old man out. Way to go, Disney.
That's the thing, because like, they do the deconstruction thing. Obviously, they make him the opening shot in like the present day timeline of the film is Indiana Jones wants to die. If you want to deconstruct a character like that, and you can do that, there are good ways of doing that. Sometimes you need to do it if your hero's gone through so many grand adventures already, knock them down. But then you have to allow them to rebuild themselves and find some new purpose, reason to live. Like they recapture their old glory. That's a legitimately good storyline you can take. In Indiana Jones, he never does. The beginning of the film, he wants to die. Then he somehow ends up back in ancient, is it Crete or Cyprus, one of the two. And then he still wants to die. So Phoebe Waller-Bridge twats him and drags him back into the future. When he wakes up and then Marion say, "Oh, I'm back." And he says, "Oh yeah, I'm happy now." That's not reconstruct. If you're going to deconstruct, reconstruct afterwards. But this is just destruction.
Must have been one hell of a punch, though. He was unconscious for the ride back through the hole, and then that going back to New York, and he woke up in bed after
But then
all
he
those
had been
hours.
shot 3 hours before.
So,
Exactly.
And then they kind of forgot about that for a large part of the film. But then he remembered he'd been shot, so he was dying again.
Yeah, exactly.
so she punched him that hard.
Yeah.
He went into the future.
That's right.
She managed to drag him onto a plane, direct them back into the future, all while he was conveniently knocked
Do you know,
out by
Yeah.
80-pound Phoebe Waller-Bridge.
I'm so glad I've not seen it. I refuse. I refuse to watch it.
And I love how in this movie, every man wanted to fuck her. Like, she was just so fucking hot. And I'm all like, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick to her, but she is not attractive. She's got that receding hairline. It's not good looking. She's got that mole that she's covering up. I'm like, and her face is just ugly. So I don't understand.
She's got a horse face.
She looks like
Yeah,
Mr.
absolutely.
Burns.
She's Luke Pointer at least.
Yeah. So, I mean, like...
Of methylated spirits.
Yeah. But she's all like, I'm a 10. And I'm like, oh, okay. Out of 100, maybe.
Yeah,
But-
there you go.
The interviews were even worse. But anyway.
There was some great interviews. There's the one where it's Indiana and I say Indiana. It had fucking Harrison Ford, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and James Mangold, the director, sitting there. And the interviewer says, "What's your worst fear?" And Phoebe Waller-Bridge says, "Bees." And then James Mangold says something, I don't remember what it was. Harrison Ford says, making a bad movie. And no one heard him. So he's asked to repeat it. And he turns directly to James Mangold, the director, and says, making a bad movie. Yeah, you did it. Well done. You've accomplished your worst fear, Harrison Ford.
Yeah, but Harrison Ford's a twat, isn't he? I mean, there's no way he could have not read that script and not known it was really bad.
He just wanted
That
a new
paycheck
aircraft.
must have been
Yeah, he
huge.
wanted a new aircraft.
The paycheck must have been so big that he just ignored everything and did
That's
it.
what I was gonna say. I think he's just old, cranky, doesn't give a shit, did it for money.
That's
And
kind of the
wanted a new
betrayal of
aircraft.
it aspect, because it used to be, I think the arrangement between Lucas and Spielberg used to be, we'll do another one if we all agree that we should do it.
Yes.
To be fair, they did all agree they should do Crystal Skull, and it didn't end particularly well. But you would have thought, it's kind of like that fourth Matrix film. If you can't even get most of the team who created the original one to come back, probably it's not worth doing.
No, well, that's not true, really, because Spielberg didn't want to do the last one, but he did it because of George. And he was under contract to make 4, but when they made the third one, they said it was over. But then George pulled out the contract and said, you were under contract to make 4. So Spielberg was kind of blackmailed to direct the last one, and you can tell because in the interview he actually says that he didn't want to make it. So there you go.
Yeah, he said, I was done with the franchise. There's a reason I had them ending with them running into this. And also the number of times in the interviews he'd say, oh, I thought that was a bit meh, but George said we should really do that.
Exactly.
Yes, you can tell it's a George Lucas script as well.
Yeah.
They I think they just about got away with it, but
it wasn't great, that last the one before this one. It wasn't great at all, and I thought it was a wasted opportunity personally, because Harrison Ford was still sprightly at that age, but in this film he's definitely belongs in a wheelchair.
The fucking
Yeah,
monkey thing. I was like, what the fuck?
I was gonna say, as soon as they got to the monkey part, I was like,
yeah.
I'm out. But I did in that movie, I did like them switching from the Germans to the Russians being the bad guys. I thought that was way better. And I now that you said that they wanted Short Round in the first script, I'm just like, that's the obvious way to go. I mean, even if Shia LaBeouf, Oscar winner, even if Shia LaBeouf would have came back, I would have been way happier with that than what we got here. It was just really bad.
It just shows how
I always
out
thought
of touch KK is.
Bringing back Mutt as the character was the most obvious way to go. If you're going to do a film like this, and obviously for reasons to do with Shia LaBeouf being mental, they didn't do that. So that they killed him off screen in a way that doesn't even go with his character. But if you'd brought him back and the story had basically been kind of like The Last Crusade, in other words, Mutt is the one who's going after his father figure, who is away investigating some other mystery, but they need him to solve some massive problem. And then it's principally Mutt's adventure of taking up the mantle to encounter this grouchy, grumpy dad. That might have been quite a good story. It would have been, because we've already had that story in The Last Crusade, but that's not what we got this time.
Junior. Yeah.
I'll just say again, KK, get fucked. Should we move on?
For sure.
Yes, please.
I wonder what's number 1.
Doctor Who's number 1, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dr. Who and Dr. What?
Probably, if you want to come on, be quick.
Or it could be not wheelchair Davros, so to speak, even though it's not a wheelchair.
I will say, sorry, my friend, no video games.
No.
Were there any good video games?
What the hell is going on?
Okay. Number 1, folks.
Drum roll, please.
New entry.
Oh, who could have seen this coming?
I know. Haha. Who?
What a load of bollocks. Seriously.
What's going on with those fucking fingernails?
You guys are gonna have to explain what's going on, because I do not watch Doctor Who.
Me neither.
I only
Doctor
watch...
Diversity.
The 14th Doctor, David Tennant, gave birth to the 15th Doctor from his penis.
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they
Kind of.
show it?
By generation. Hint.
They
By.
literally pushed him out, and they were joined at
his-
the groin for a bit.
Doesn't he glow though,
Oh, the
and then
space
turn
dog.
into the other guy? Like
No, that didn't happen. But
But that's usually what happens.
yes.
I'm so
That
confused.
is how it typically goes.
And
And
then he
so
hit the TARDIS with a hammer and made a second TARDIS.
Boing.
And
So
then
what-
he ran around with no pants on.
Ooh.
Was his dick just flinging around everywhere?
Well, they didn't really show that.
Speaking of dicks flinging around everywhere, look who's here, everybody. Hello, Probby.
Someone play a bell.
Probby.
Hello.
Are you sober?
Yes, sadly, yeah.
Probby's here, everybody. Probby, thoughts? Doctor Who, this is number 1 in the shit list.
Yes,
Right.
because it's
go
a
sleep
number
now.
1 and a number 2 in my shit list. It should be in the bin, flushed down the loo, and forgotten about, and we should all move on, pretend it didn't happen.
Set it on fire.
Set it on fire first, and set it on AIDS fire. Yeah, it needs to die. It needs to go away for 10, 15, 20 years and come back by people who are competent and know exactly what they're doing.
Baileys ahoy!
Yay! I wish. No.
That is true.
I mean, it was supposed to be a celebration of 60 years of one of the most iconic sci-fi series to ever grace our screens, and it completely failed on all counts.
It did, because it's not Doctor Who. It's a vehicle for the message. They've made the Doctor call his companion Babe or Babes.
All right, disrespectful to women.
Because it's
Which is
okay, because
disrespectful.
he's in a protected class since he's not a heterosexual male.
And he
So-
cries all the time. Because remember when
You
Tom
mean you
Baker cried
don't?
all the time? Don't what?
Cry.
No, but then again, I don't travel through time and space either.
We did on Christmas Eve or whenever it was.
No, I just travel through
Moving on.
shit.
You shit on stream?
Yes. Did you
I
not
talk
notice?
it on stream.
Well, that's true.
Ian?
Wow. What can I
Go
say?
on,
That
go on,
Probby's
go
not
on.
ready?
Just
Look.
go on.
Look, basically what they're trying to do, and I will say this with all seriousness, they're trying to groom kids. It was done by design that Shooty was walking around in his wife runs. It was done by design that basically when he was talking to that stupid creature, David Tennant, and they said, "Oh, you're right. What are you? Them, they, whatever." It was done by design that the regeneration was called bi-regeneration. It was done by design, everything in there to actually push the agenda.
Well, RTD has said that. You know, he
You know
said
what I
that in the not the confidential, whatever.
Say
Say Ian, apparently.
What? It's
Say
shit.
what?
The whole thing is shit. What I'm done with Doctor Who. Doctor Who's done with me. They don't want me there.
dear.
Oh, he
Dr.
loved you and
Watts.
left you.
Dr.
I'm-
Watts.
Yeah,
I'm
I
done.
didn't. I was out when they did the Davros thing. That was that to me was the absolute signifier of where this was going.
Binary,
me-
binary.
But I had to see the Christmas special to see if he was any good, and he was
No.
absolute shit. He really was.
I saw the scene when he's running over the rooftops, and I couldn't understand a word he was saying other than babes. That
All
was
right,
it.
All right, babe.
And the storyline was this creature eating babies. I'm like, okay, you know what I mean? It was just absolute nonsense. It really
Happy
was.
Christmas, everybody.
Yeah.
Eating babies.
Really crappy. Total shit.
Well, it's better than turkey.
Z, are you there? Yeah.
You said BRB, I thought.
Okay. Did anybody see Doctor Who? Lord, did you see it?
I did, yes.
Oh.
I don't care.
There you go, folks. The Lord has spoken.
Just vaguely, there's something almost grotesque about the way he's performing as the character as well. It's like, aside from all the writing is completely abysmal, but I vaguely remember watching Doctor Who back when David Tennant was the Doctor, and even those moments he had in the specials, and you can tell this is a man who is playing a character, and it's filmed as though he's playing a character, and it's sort of done in vaguely, it's not very competently done, but it's done in the way you would expect the drama to be done. But the way What's-His-Face portrays him, I think Russell T. Davies has a massive boner for this guy. Like all of the weird, like slow-mo close-ups on the face, and the overacting.
The
which is
close-up
just
on his
appalling.
crotch.
Also,
Bonama.
it's the overacting. It's the sense that you get when you watch him that this is not a man playing a character. This is a man who thinks, yes, this is my time to shine. And so he plays everything to the absolute max, and it's really off-putting. And that's even before you get down to the fact that the scripts themselves are complete shit.
Did you hear the line, "I've been snowmanned"?
What?
When the snowman landed, like the snowman head landed on him, and he walked out, and the police woman was talking to him, and he said, "Oh, I've just been snowmanned." Now, if you look in the Urban Dictionary, what snowmanned is,
careful.
Well, it involves 3 fingers and an orifice, so you can work it out for yourself.
So better than snowballing.
Oh, you mean bowling ball?
So Doctor Who, right, now dances in a club in a skirt and a
Jeez.
vest. And also, Doctor Who, right, he apparently had an affair with Houdini, apparently.
It's worse than I thought,
So there you go.
folks.
So,
He's the universe's biggest slut, according to RTD, apparently.
Yeah, that's what Doctor
So,
is now.
I will say, Brown, even though I refuse to watch this shit, I did warn you guys. RTD was going to suck ass at his new run of Doctor Who, but I didn't like his first run that much. I really did not.
You know what, right? It's disappointing because I truly believed, one of my famous predictions that it was going to be 3 episodes of joy. And I think this is the thing what hurts the most. That
betrayal. It's a betrayal of
betrayed.
The fan.
We were betrayed
Completely.
We were all
Disney. There it is.
We were optimistic.
Well,
I was not optimistic about this, to be honest. I don't trust Russell T Davies.
I wasn't optimistic when I saw him and Ncuti Gatwa on the red carpet at the BAFTAs, and when it all went downhill from there, when it was talking about representation, being seen, all these. I was just like, oh no, that instantly for me was the moment I knew it was dead.
So a quick
sorry,
question.
folks.
Go on in.
Sorry, folks.
Go on in.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I just
and Matt,
thought
one more thing, right? The Doctor sang in this. It was literally a musical bit in this episode of Doctor Who. They actually sang like it was a musical.
Well, I'm reading a little bit while you guys are talking because I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. So he's the 15th Doctor, and David Tennant came back as the Doctor.
Yep.
And who's this? Hold on, I'm still reading. How does that work? Do other doctors get to come back now? Other actors?
Well, during the 50th anniversary special, we had Tom Baker coming in as a character called the Curator. So it's implied that he is a future version of the Doctor who's retired and has decided to wear an old face, an old favorite.
Okay.
Yes.
So that set that standard. So that's
but that was a really cool moment. I love that part.
Moment. Yeah. I was in the cinema watching that when that was.
So Mavity is real, folks. Moving on.
Mavity's not real.
I did.
Why would they dress him like a pimp? I don't understand.
Brown, Z said he's back if you want to call in Z and give him his shot.
Z, would you like your shot?
But what?
Well, anything
Talking
you want.
about Doctor Who.
Really.
I did at the start. The only other thing I've got to chime in about is BBC fudging the viewing numbers.
And they still haven't released the 7 days consolidated, which usually come out a week after. It's now been 2 weeks and a day.
And we still don't have the consolidated figures.
Oh, dear.
Because they know it's failed. This has failed big time. It really has.
Oh, so Neil Patrick Harris is on the show?
Yeah,
he's in an episode.
He was in the last David Tennant.
He played the villain as a German racist, which is in of itself pretty racist, but that's okay apparently.
Okay, so so they each have these little assistants, and this guy only has the one. This blonde girl. What's her name? Melly
Well, they
Gibson?
typically have like a companion. Jodie Whittaker's Doctor kind of broke that with having the 3 or 4 of them. I know there was another Doctor like Matt Smith's had to with Rory and Amy, and who was the Doctor that had a couple of them in the OG series?
Peter Davison.
Fifth Doctor.
Yeah,
he had 3 of them, and it was far too crowded.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. But then, RTD does seem to have a penchant for blonde-haired 19-year-old girls that the Doctor falls in love with or something like that, even though he's like 900 plus years old. And they're always dressed like a sket.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And what was the whole point of that black woman in bed saying she wanted a cup of tea?
No idea.
What was the whole point of that? Why
character development, apparently.
Darling.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You know what? They so these goblins steal this baby. They take it up to the ship, and then the doctor gets it back, and they put the baby back in the same spot where it got stolen in the first place.
After
Does
he
that
kills
make any
them all.
sense?
Yeah,
No.
after he kills them all.
Yeah.
So the baby got back?
Yeah, so he got the baby back, and then they stole.
Sorry.
Sorry. Oh
Baby.
dear.
Very good.
Oh dear.
I had to do it.
Probably you available for super chat, mate?
Yeah.
Mm.
Rtniz, with $5 says, Probby, try and convince Brown to do memberships and collaborate with Clobby. Clobbering Times, great channel. Go and subscribe to.
Wow.
A meeting of the two best YouTube communities. Cheers.
Well, that's debatable.
Thank you, my friend.
I've got to get on his Blake 7 streams at some point,
Blake
but he's on like at 3 or 4 o'clock in the
I
morning.
started watching that.
Good,
7.
as you should.
Okay,
watch
so is there
Blake
anything to add?
It's
I
dead.
would like to add that this is also part of the Disney umbrella that took like about 4 or 5 slots on this list. That is all.
Yeah,
It is dead. It's dead.
and
Doctor Who.
Disney are just adding the nails. Quite
Yeah.
honestly.
Okay,
really
so that's number 1, folks. Doctor Who.
Doctor
It
Who.
betrayed.
It doesn't make me happy.
It
at all.
betrayed us, didn't it?
Totally.
It can get in the bin.
In the bin.
Set it on fire.
Set it on
As I
fire.
said, I thought we might get 3 episodes of nostalgia, joy, fun. Didn't even get that, did we?
If
Didn't
you
get 5
are
minutes.
a Doctor Who fan, you should not be watching any of what's coming. You shouldn't.
It will just upset you.
Mm.
And that's why
Apparently.
they're doing it. That's why they're doing. RTD has actually come out and said, the next season, even Millie Gibson, came out and said, it's going to upset people. If you don't like it, don't watch it, kind of thing. I'm like, we've heard this before, and we won't.
And
So
they might not even be around.
Yeah, if you heard
Well,
the
then-
There's the
rumors,
latest rumor.
they're,
They
they're
might get
filming 2
canned.
seasons. Yeah, but that's not necessarily that actually happens through most, because what happens is they get signed for 2 seasons,
Okay.
then they go on a break and do other work like stage or whatever. So they film them back to back, then they go on break, and then
There is Tommy.
they decide then if they want to come back and do more. So that's why.
And
So
do you in
can
and
read
do you
into
in the UK? Do you guys still have to pay what is it, Sky for your
license,
television?
BBC license fee.
Yeah, do you still have to
I-
pay them no matter what?
I
can't-
had a letter through from them demanding it had one of the red ones, right? The red one's not a good
What?
one. So I sent it back and I wrote on the envelope. I said I don't watch the BBC. It's full of anti-Semitism, homophobic rubbish, and all this LGBT propaganda. And I don't watch live television anyway. Please refrain
fucked.
from sending me these letters, and I do not give you permission to be on my property. And that's it.
There
So
you
I
go, folks.
sent that off, and they sent me a letter recently saying, "We apologise. We're not going to send you any more letters. We've now taken you off the list." So it's that simple.
Okay.
Mm.
So that is number 1, folks. Dr. Watt.
Doctor Who.
Dr. Watt.
Dr. Watts.
Doctor what?
Dr. Who. Dr. Watts. Okay. There is a special category this year.
Golden bin. Wow.
Golden bin.
The Golden Bin. The Golden Bin Awards.
Oh, do they get a golden shower in the bin? Please say no.
They can do
Please
if they
say
want
no.
one. If they want
No,
one.
thank you.
Does anybody know what it is?
No.
The writer's strike?
Is it Disney?
Oh,
It's something Disney again. I swear,
Oh,
Brown,
Lord.
you're going in the
Is it
fucking
you
the
know
bin.
me
BBC?
too well, don't you?
Is it the baby?
Wait, is it actually Disney? Oh, yay.
Oh my goodness.
For fuck's sake.
That could have been the whole of 1 to 10,
Like,
couldn't it? Really?
seriously,
Wasn't
it's
it?
like Disney
was.
like took like every fucking slot almost.
They
lost
salted
Mickey
the
Mouse.
earth. They've
They lost
salted.
Mickey Mouse.
They've salted the earth underneath Hollywood's feet.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
You can make Mickey Mouse now. You can do a cartoon with the version in, was it?
Steamboat Willie,
was
yeah.
Steamboat
Steamboat
Willie.
They've been coming after people doing that even now, because I think there's certain rules or what it's unclear and it's different from different country to different country.
But they've been
So-
doing that to other properties anyway for years, haven't
Oh,
they?
yeah.
So,
Well, they're very litigious, aren't they, Disney?
Z, are you available, please, my friend?
I most certainly am. Old Cranky Gamer for $5 says, guys, Ranting about Doctor Who is like putting a noose around a dead Smollett.
True.
Jeez.
Wow.
Thank you, my
Stop,
friend.
stop,
I
it's
think.
already dead.
It's dead.
It's just
Okay,
violating.
so Disney were the winners of a special award, do we feel?
Oh yeah, for sure. They sell.
No.
Yeah, they
Every
produced
year.
all of the worst things of the year are pretty much all Disney, as has been established. So for an unbroken record of astounding failure, the award goes to Disney. Well done. For a 100-year anniversary as well. It's great.
Yes. But
Yeah, they
everything they
deserve it,
touched
too.
turned to shit.
Yeah, for sure.
If I remember correctly, they were at number 1 last year.
Nothing's changed then.
Yeah.
Yep, they
they-
deserve it. 100%.
They don't learn. They just keep doubling and doubling down. Eventually, they're just going to become, like a black hole of shit.
Bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're not.
Singularity of shit.
Well,
they're
the
not.
thing that everybody forgets is
What? She gone?
content back in the day. You know, it was a great entertainment company.
It was.
They have the wrong people in place and they're making bad decisions or making terrible content.
Yeah.
They never should have bought the Marvel cinematic universe or, tried to help create it after Iron Man
Pixar.
paved
Or
the way.
ILM.
They never should have bought
Star Wars.
ILM, any of Lucas's stuff, Star Wars, all of that. They should not have done that. They are not good with taking other people's products and quote unquote making it better. They do not do so. They do not succeed at that. They
It's
should have
asset
stuck to their
stripping.
own shit.
Asset stripping.
Right.
Yeah,
Which
well, they
is
destroyed their
assets.
100th anniversary. They destroyed the Doctor Who 60th anniversary. They've destroyed pretty much absolutely everything they touch. And I would, if I were an investor, I'd be absolutely ripping my hair out. I'm surprised they haven't put barricades up outside the castle and just hunkered down with the investors coming in with their tiki torches at this point.
They must be getting money from somewhere like BlackRock or something like that. There must be.
Obviously.
Well, the investors are waking up to this now, aren't they?
I hope so. They haven't woken up. They need a good smack
No
round the
pun
head to
intended.
wake up properly,
Yeah.
don't they? So
Absolutely.
Z, are you available,
With
my
like
friend?
a Lucille bat.
Of course. Dookie says their productions lost $1
Shit.
billion last year.
got my headphones off.
That's right. That's it. That's the chat.
Yeah. 1 billion euros, folks. I like that euro.
Yeah.
Probably more, actually.
It does suck though, because I mean, coming as a parent here with young children, you used to be able to set your kids in front of Disney and not worry about it, and now it's like,
Babysitter, yes.
yeah, it's like what are my kids gonna get with this nonsense? And
Yeah.
it just sucks because my
time.
childhood was full of Disney, and I loved Disney from being a kid, and now it's like,
Same here.
I recently watched that Wish movie, and man, what a pile of garbage that was.
I bet you wished you didn't.
It was pretty.
Oh dear.
I'm here all week.
Lame.
The songs weren't even good. I was
I'm
like,
gay.
man, this is terrible. But no, they ruin everything.
Agreed.
This was also the year that parks hit like an all-time low attendance worldwide because
Yeah.
it was low during COVID, but everyone else had bounced back and they kept raising the prices and attendance was still at an all-time low. So it wasn't just, I think before they were kind of getting away with the movies flopping because they still had the merch in the parks, but now those aren't even selling.
Did you see that video of the guy in the Minnie Mouse costume working there, like just having a crafty fag break and a cigarette break?
Yes.
So good. I was
I
like,
need
that
them to
is
be
that is
fair.
the exemplary of Disney. I thought that was mwah, chef's kiss. So funny.
I'm gonna look that up.
Oh, it's
What
brilliant.
is 2024 going to be
More of the
installed?
same.
Is it, do you think?
Yeah.
Well, they've reduced all the Marvel stuff to just Deadpool. They're re-releasing some of the Disney Plus movies, like Turning Red, into theaters for limited runs. But I think Snow White was supposed to be the big thing, but now there's the Mufasa movie,
What?
and
what?
yeah,
What?
it's a prequel about young Mufasa, basically, but it's going to be a quote unquote live action.
Well, we always wanted.
What?
Yeah, and then
The
there's
films
supposed to
you
be
never knew you didn't want.
right. I think the Little Mermaid animated show is supposed to come to Disney Plus this year too.
Yeah.
if I'm not. Yeah, but they're dialing back on a lot of the Star Wars stuff. I think
Course
there's more of
correction.
that coming out than actual Disney or Marvel properties.
Brings a new meaning to Disney on Ice.
Very clever. Thinking man's joke.
There
like
is a
that.
bunch of Star Wars. So Star Wars has, I think, both Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte this
Oh, I
year.
can't
So
wait.
neither of those are going to exactly save the
Can't
franchise.
wait.
I don't know. I don't imagine we're going to see the Rey movie this year, or maybe even next year. But the one after, I think I read somewhere that, yeah, this is kind of make or break in even Disney's mind for Star Wars. They have to do one big final push to prove that there is in fact some money to be eked out of the franchise, which there isn't. But there'll be Star Wars TV stuff. It's a blessing in a way that there is only one Marvel film. I don't remember the last year there was only one Marvel film out, so that's nice. Although there's a load of Disney Plus TV shows, like Echo is a couple of days' time, isn't it? And there's a couple of other things. But away from Disney, it's kind of the year of the video game adaptation, isn't it? There's Fallout, there is Halo Season 2, there is there's a bunch of other stuff. What else? The Warhammer thing that Henry Cavill's attached to, I think, is this year.
Tomb Raider's supposed to be out this year.
Tomb
2 different
Raider with
adaptations.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge attached to one of them.
I think that's
probably good.
actually next year. The animated Netflix one comes out this year, and then there's also a Devil May Cry adaptation. We get Arcane Season 2.
Arcane Season 2, yeah.
Can't wait
There's
for
a few
that.
more. Yeah. Oh, Borderlands movie comes out in August.
I didn't even know there was a Borderlands movie.
There you go.
Oh, look at
Yeah,
that
Sonic-
cast. It's beautiful.
Sonic.
Yeah, I heard.
Borderlands.
Yeah, I heard things about that Borderlands movie. I heard
It's gonna be shit.
Yeah, I heard they were directing without Eli Roth on set. They were just like, let's direct without our director, and I'm like, what? What's going on here? So it should be interesting to see how that turns out.
Oh, there's just a lot of Fox stuff that's coming out through Disney. This will be the Fox acquisition year for them.
Well, I think they have to lean into that, don't they?
Yeah.
I think they have the better people on board to do the stuff.
Is it bad that I want to see that Jonathan Majors movies now that he's been...
Yes, you bad little boy.
I want to see it so bad now because I'm like, they're never going to release that, and I want to see it so bad now. It's ridiculous.
Lord, are you available to read a super chat, please?
I suppose so. Old Cranky Gamer for $5 every time the anti-woke channel celebrates Disney fading. They get more money via tax dollars and grants to fulfill their purpose. Infant propaganda.
Wow.
We'll see about that one. I think. I think that the era of investor confidence in Disney is firmly over. And the era when ESG was being sold to investors as a guaranteed way of making money is also firmly over. And the time is coming when people will start asking questions about the balance between fiduciary duty at companies, which is a legal obligation, and ESG, and whether those two things can in fact be squared. And the spoiler for that is no, they can't. So good luck to you, Disney. You're gonna need it.
Yeah, suck it, Disney.
Here for it. Here for it.
Doesn't give me any pleasure seeing Disney being like this.
Oh, it gives me plenty of pleasure.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it doesn't because like the old school stuff, like
Old
you know,
school.
the original like Little Mermaid, the
Yeah, old
original
school.
Snow
That company
White,
died a
Nightmare
long
Before
time
Christmas.
ago. It died
That
a
stuff
long
was
time ago.
good. You
It's not
don't
even
want to see
resting,
that
is it?
company fail, so to speak.
Well, there we go.
Ah.
They made their bed. End of story.
Yeah, Walt's head
They-
would be
they
rolling right
made-
now.
It would be spinning, yeah.
Yeah, it
in
would
its
be-
grave.
They made their
in his cryo
bin.
chamber.
Oh, that's right.
They made their bin, and they need to
Burning it.
That's right.
golden bin everybody. So that was the inaugural. Oh, that would.
Like I
golden
think
bin.
the only way you could save it is to completely get rid of everyone in power at Disney and then start
I
a new-
disagree.
What you do is you gut the company,
No.
and then
No,
you
no,
just
no.
keep the name, and then you get actual real people involved.
You have to nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah, but it'd be like cockroaches. The buggers will survive, wouldn't
And
they?
KK will survive. Yes. Cockroaches and
Nick.
KK, everybody. So that's what it is. So
Cockroach.
Disney, everybody, congratulations on 100 years. I'm sure Walt is spinning in his cryo, whatever it is, chamber.
Mm.
Okay, I think we're going to stop there.
Oh,
Amen.
don't want to go for 4 hours at all again.
Oh gosh,
Not
I
on
don't
a
have it
school
in me.
nights. Not on a kind of yeah.
Did you do the best list while I wasn't here?
No,
in
we
my
just
na-
bogged AF.
Yeah, in my naivety, I thought we'd get through them all.
It
in
doesn't
2
work
hours.
like that. I joined EFAP yesterday, and before we
It
went
doesn't.
live, because it was the year's recaps. That more said, if we can make 4 hours, I think it'll be good. Like 8 hours later, we finally
Oh.
finished. We didn't even
Um,
cover most of the stuff in the year.
I'll just say, rest in peace, David Soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Rest
Silver
in
Lady.
peace, Hutch.
Don't give up on us, baby.
Black bean soup.
Black bean soup. Yeah.
I think, folks, we're going to come back Wednesday to do the top 10.
At least it's going to be all the good things.
Spark.
Yes, it's going to be all the good things. The next time we are on, it will be all the good things. For once.
Yay!
Okay. I think that is it, folks. I'm gonna
Is that
try
a
my
real
new-
toy? Is that a
Look at
real
that.
figure?
Look at
That's
that.
Brown's dildo.
Oh, right.
Apparently the head is a bit the hair. Professor R2 did that. So that is it, folks. Chat, you are wonderful. You know that. You keep us going. Thank you, chat. Thank you for the super chats as well. Much appreciated. And yes, I will sort the memberships out. That is it, folks. I will thank the guests. Problem being,
Thank you for having me very briefly in a filthy way.
oh yes. I love this guy, MatKat83.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I had a really good time.
Great to have you back, mate. Reni L. Cheers, Reni.
Yeah, thank you as always. Had a great time. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of freaking out, going, "Oh God, are we gonna be here 4 hours? I'm gonna have to wind down and have dinner sometime tonight. I don't
Perfect
know where I'm
timing.
gonna fit that in." So
Yeah, perfect. Cheers, Reni. Rex Electronica. Did you see what I did there?
Very good.
But
I'm here all week.
thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to always be on stream with you guys.
Great to have you on.
Why are you a dinosaur now?
I'm working on
my job.
merch, so it's supposed to be Tyrannosaurus Vex.
I see.
There you go. Yeah.
Very good.
The Mega Geek. Cheers, eh?
No worries, guys. No worries.
Zee-ThreePIO. Cheers, my friend.
Always a pleasure to be on with you.
And last but by no means least, the boy wonder himself, Little Platoon. Cheers, Lord.
Pleasure as always. Thank you for having me.
I think that's it, folks. We're going to be back Wednesday. Definitely going to be back Wednesday. Okay. I think that's it. See you next time. If we don't see you Wednesday, we'll see you next weekend.
We'll see you next Tuesday.
Yes, we'll see you next Tuesday, everybody. Have a great
bag
week.
of dicks.
I don't think I've missed any super chats. No, I haven't. Take
Oh, you
care,
didn't.
everybody. Take care, everybody. We're missing
Bye.
Fiona. Take care. Adios.
Enjoy your bag of dicks.
Billion!
Bag of dicks.